Yeah, 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 yeah. Time out is Kelsito, the spirit coach. Getting you a shade before for the age of Aquarius yet again. What? What's going on? Hey, that's my life. I don't really have much time to be coming online and doing stuff, but I will express some of my truths and shit like that because I feel like it's important too. You know what I'm saying? Especially we got a lot of kids coming up in this age. They online. You know what I'm saying? Trying to look for themselves at things, and they average shit that they might run to, as far as television, as far as devices and programs and filters that they might have. It may not have nothing to do with where they're culturally relevant to. You know what I'm saying? And their background and experience. So, you know, they might cling to ideas that not necessarily um, work for them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's gonna work for all, but some of the ideas that they may have, it might not necessarily work for them. So, I'm here to give us, just a little bit of spill on, what I believe, um, far as, when it comes to happiness and looking for it. Is that even a real thing? You know what I'm saying? So and I'm gonna just tell the kids right now, there's no amount of happiness you can buy. You know what I'm saying? And also, there's no ultimate happiness like you gonna end up living in. You know what I'm saying? Every day comes with ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? Every day comes with challenge, and there's also just things that is put on the people out here. As far as ways of thinking and things that may keep y'all in cycles. You know what I'm saying? Mentally and emotionally, where you know it don't lead anywhere. It don't lead to no certain growth. It don't lead to no specific sense of value out of life. So it's like once you can't value life and shit, you like, where is that? So essentially, you know, we already in some type of situation where we kind of everybody kind of lying to themselves on some certain percentage level. You know what I'm saying? To make this reality and things of that nature. And it's kind of really best, I guess, if you go ahead and do that too. You know what I'm saying? White boy did it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody lying to themselves and things. So you got to get a part of too. But it's really not just about lying, but it's more so about you know you can use a lie for a motivation. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I see myself in this way, and I'm sticking to it. You know what I'm saying? And that goes beyond, you know, um, what you can perceive at the time, as far as you being on the path to, you know, uh, bettering self better. You know what I'm saying? Self preservation and shit like that. So these are things. So, but you know, first off, we're going to kick it like this, that there's no, I'm trying to get these ants out of here. They need to go ahead. There's no ultimate happiness. You know what I'm saying? There's no ultimate happiness in life. Now, from my personal experiences, is that, what we even consider to be happy and shit like that, it usually deals with flesh. You know what I'm saying? It usually deals with you feeling satisfied, you know, via having physical pleasures and things. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's food, sheltering, uh, you know, money, whatever, security, and things of that nature. That's what I that's what I conclude based upon my observation that everybody kind of be looking for. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't even really necessarily about that. You know what I'm saying? And so it is some truth to the term of everything has to come from the internal and stuff like that because usually that's kind of what we're stemming from motivating ourselves with our imagination in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Motivating our imagination to go out and create a picture, go out and create a song, go out and get dressed and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But these things all have an expiration date and they fade away. So this ain't necessarily anything you can take with you. You know what I'm saying? Everything is kind of being utilized, for agenda. And the world fucked up right now. You know what I'm saying? No men working together and shit like that. So it's kind of really just best for, what I'm saying, people to kind of just get what they program wherever they at, your city and stuff like that, and adhere to these certain values that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because the world, they got the world fucked up right now. Or shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Either we gonna do it on our own volition in some way and try to participate, yes or not, or just, you know what I'm saying, we not, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's better to be on that inclining sense of participation if that's what you feel like you feel like you want out of life and shit like that. But first of all, beyond that, you know what I'm saying, you got to find your own sense of your spiritual way. And a lot of the things that I've been talking about over the last couple of years is, just certain insights that you can use in your own life, you know what I'm saying, to kind of find your own path and better yourself. You want to find your own path and better yourself. You want to find your own way and better yourself. And so, but to be honest, like, there's even things that you might have to separate from in that and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really cling on to nothing. You know what I'm saying? You can't really cling on to nothing. And that might sound crazy, but you know, um, and things because you think that the people with the most have, or the most material may be the most happy. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case all the time. You got bums that's happy. You know what I'm saying? Also, you got people. So it's just like you just gotta find where you at on the spectrum and make sure you balancing your shit. Because there ain't no such thing as though ultimate happiness. So you know, and the things that like so we most happy, when we actually supporting others and things of that nature. So if I could teach you how to stand tall and do your 1 2, then you know what I'm saying, and that bring a certain energy your way. You know what I'm saying? Then you can do it yourself, type shit. But for the most part, we don't need the kids getting lost in this narrative of it's gonna be a place where you can be totally happy, or you can watch some spiritual videos and get happy, or you can have a spiritual person you look up to and be happy. No, it's only gonna come from you. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It's only gonna come from you and shit like that. So you live with that or not. And his message is very simple, but it's a real message for the kids and things of that nature that want to have live a life that probably ain't even, what I'm saying, had nothing growing up. You know what I'm saying? But, maybe found things that represent the space that they may have, you know, saw themselves in or projected themselves in, you know what I'm saying, and wanted to, do something with that. There is a sense of hope. But first of all, the first thing we're gonna take off the top is there ain't no sense of being happy. Like, so all religious people and all, like, y'all think y'all gonna be happy when y'all find God in one day and stuff like that. No, that's why you having arguments with your people next week. You gotta understand the world we in and you know what I'm saying, understand where you may be rocked to sleep from, you know what I'm saying, via your association, you know what I'm saying, to the world and stuff like that. Because this is somebody else specific hands of doing of what they think, you know what I'm saying? And everything that a person think might not be yours. Some of it may be that, some of it may not be. You know what I'm saying? But the kids don't necessarily need to be on no vibe like that. That's most of it. Hold on. Don't worry, man. You got it. Okay, you hear me? You got this. Say yes. Say yes, Dad. All right. Yeah, you can get a graham cracker. You know, but yeah, just helping son with some homework. You know, but yeah, you know, so yeah, because you know we in the world and things of that nature. You know, this is a this is a whole reason why you know what I'm saying you may pick a certain thing by default. You know what I'm saying, and be into that thing. You know what I'm saying, but yet there's you know things in your mind and stuff like that, things in your heart, things in your spirit that you know is true and stuff like that. But you can't. There's not really no words for these things. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of the times that kind of throw you off kilter. Um, you know, just trying to live life and things. You know what I'm saying? Because there's certain bounds and certain, you know, things already running as far as programs and uh, things that kind of take up your time for you to reflect and just have space to yourself. You know what I'm saying? To be like, okay, I feel like this gonna represent myself more than the next thing. You know, but for the most part, you know, really ain't really no sense of happiness, not in no friendship, not in no relationship, not in no, you know what I'm saying? um, not in no, you know, circumstance situation. If life ain't really taught you that, then you know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. You know, but if you gonna learn that as a young a child growing up, you know what I'm saying, or as a kid growing up and becoming an adult, you know, and so you find different ways to live your time here, and you know you put in what your time you know is useful that you think is useful and shit like that, and you take your own little spiritual lane and shit like that. But you know, it's just a certain thing that we deal with. You know what I'm saying? Every day ain't your day. You know what I'm saying? Every day might not have certain alignments that you may react to. You know what I'm saying? It may be in favor for somebody else at the moment. You know what I'm saying? But um, then that's what I'm saying. You got to learn how to also take things, eat things, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when they punch you when you eat it and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Eat that, and then you know, be in the long term game and shit like in life. You know what I'm saying? Be in the long term game. Don't be not you got don't gotta be no overnight success. You don't gotta be that. You don't gotta you know what I'm saying stress so hard and things of that nature. A lot of these ideas and things that they even put on y'all heads just like stress, and a lot of that shit be fake and built up a certain way where it ain't even authentic like you think is maybe rolling. So you end up spending a lot of time wasted. You know what I'm saying? You end up you know, and this has kind of built that energy of regret. You know what I'm saying? And if you live in that, you know what I'm saying, that regret energy, then you know, that don't feel like a good space. You know what I'm saying? It don't feel like a good space. So just having a mind and a mechanism of, you know, everything ain't gonna come with happiness. This already subsides you from like things like regret, because you may go through it and you got to, you know what I'm saying, you can move on. Everybody else move on and convince themselves of things and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Until they out this bitch, and you do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You do the same thing and stuff like that. You try to be, be when it's time for you to be genuine, do that. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for you to be fake, do that. When it's time for you to be real, do that. Everything is up for you, in this bitch. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything. So there ain't no ultimate goal or nothing that ain't the ultimate learn or go don't whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is something different. You know what I'm saying? There's life in the age of Aquarius, from the Aquarius perspective. Okay. So, make sure y'all all is y'all on the spiritual up and up. Like I said, I don't even got time to really kick it like that and really, sit down, do like hour videos no more. So I'm just maybe might pop in for the little short form and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we got, a lot of things to handle here, a lot of things going on here, a lot of important things, a lot of people that need my genuine support. And like, I got to be ready for them, you know what I'm saying? And people that support me. So, I want to be in a good space mentally to support them, a good space emotionally to support them, because what we got going on is a good thing, you know what I'm saying? And those are things that's like worth being, you know what I'm saying, okay, good about, okay, happy about. Because other than that, what is it? It ain't gonna be nothing else. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be nothing else. But you know what I'm saying, you running across people that, you know what I'm saying, here today and going tomorrow, you know. But, the people that do take that time with you, do support you and stuff like that, that's the thing that's worth being happy about on 10 toes. Your music, you know what I'm saying, your art, your creativity, you know what I'm saying. Y'all getting together and, shaking down what y'all got going on. These are things that's all real important. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, lean into that love. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't out here. You know what I'm saying? It ain't outside. You know what I'm saying? It ain't outside. Everybody kind of for money and things of that nature. And, you know what I'm saying? And really, it's other things in the play beyond money and shit like that. That the world teach you that shit. What you think, it ain't that. You know what I'm saying? So, just stay on your own shit. You know what I'm saying? And find your position, within it all. And that's what I tell my listeners that um, listen to me, far as this angle, far as this space that I've been in, over the last 10 years, speaking about, my experiences and doing something, for your spiritual self. And hopefully that helps, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm here to do. Because I don't see the content created, you know what I'm saying? So, you got to be what you don't see, you know? You got to be what you don't see and what you want to see. And you let that rock how it rock. See what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to everybody, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get this thing together. You know what I'm saying? As far as this life and y'all personal lives, y'all make sure y'all handle y'all business and things. And, you know, once it's together and things of that nature, and you got it, mapped out how you want it mapped out, you can't go wrong with it. So it ain't no ultimate happiness in things. I understand that, but it is things that are here to help you, like tools and, mechanisms and shit like that. Those are things that you kind of want to be, cling to, and, also your spiritual reflection. You know what I'm saying? And like, what does it feel like to be in a supportive role to another. You know what I'm saying? And weighing a percentage of that. You know what I'm saying? Does that feel good or it does it not? You know what I'm saying? Does that feel better than being left out? You know what I'm saying? Or does it? You know, it's all on you. You gotta weigh every situation. You know what I'm saying? Every situation. And this is why everybody be out here. People be losing their minds. People be having their shit together. People be doing shit that you can't even do. People be doing shit that, you know what I'm saying, that they that they only can do and things. And, you know, you see all different types of walks of life and shit like that. And that's where the world is today. You know what I'm saying? When you put the feet on the ground. When you put the feet on the ground, that's where the world is today. So therefore, you know what I'm saying, you can only take from that what you can, you know what I'm saying, package it up and put it on the table for it to be sold. And a motherfucker don't like it, then they just don't like it. But they don't know what you've been through, you know? So, these is these is things we're here to support each other and shit like that. But not be so attached to it as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Real shit. But yeah, man. So just you just want to make sure you want to make sure you tune into your own vision, your own way of seeing things, your own life, the things that carry you. And I appreciate everybody. I'm Kelsey to the spiritual coach. Get you in shape before for the age of Aquarius yet again. Get your ass in here.